Sitting in the bleachers in the rain. We've shed a million tears and drank as many old style beers out at the game. Let's go Cubbies on Ranto
With Michael.
Son Ranto
And Crawley.
Son Ranto and the lovable losers. Son Ranto
With Michael.
Son Ranto
And Crawley.
Son Ranto and the lovable losers. Son Ranto.
Well, you sounded so thankful in that scream. I could tell you were thankful to be alive.
I was thankful to have lungs, baby.
Yeah, baby. You have lungs that can breathe.
Lungs, no COVID lungs, just real lungs.
Welcome to the Son Ranto Show Shanksgiving special. It's not really a special. Yeah, I was going to do something big and fancy, invite everybody out. But, it is what they call in the business, I don't know what business that is, but Blackout Wednesday, where everybody comes home and they get with it. Yeah, Crawley's already on his way. He's got what kind of beer you drinking there, Crawls?
It's a New Glarus, Pear 21.
Oh, is it made of pear?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
yeah.
Is there partridge in it too?
In a pear tree?
Yeah, exactly.
Emily brought a few of those home.
Picked up
She
what I'm
really
throwing
likes that.
down.
I've got the Celebration Fresh Hop IPA from Sierra Nevada.
See, you're
Trying
celebrating
that
in
one
a
out.
bottle.
Celebration.
I am drinking cranberry raspberry seltzer water, so I'm not joining you so far. I always wait. It's like I'm trying not to do the show drunk anymore. That's what I'm thankful for, is me coming to my senses. Most of the Cubs news is bad, but we're going to talk about it anyway. But I guarantee you the people who live in Tennessee and watch Smokies games, they've got a lot of thankfulness to go around, because it seems that by the performances by Christian Vasquez and who's the pitcher we got for Chris Bryant, Killian. Caleb Killian. It seems like people who live in minor league towns have more to be thankful about the Cubs. But we're going to go through some of this bad news that we got. And once again, who I'm thankful for is our Patreon supporters who are actually bringing you this show right now.
100%. Thank you very much.
So we do it for. So big news. And here's the big news that I'm thankful for. You guys, we've been saying the Cubs aren't going to do shit. They're not going to sign anybody big. And we all have to eat our words right now, because they made the biggest splash of the offseason by a huge trade, biggest trade I've seen in a long time, where the Cubs have traded to cash. All it cost them was money. No players even changed hands from the Cubs for Jose Ramirez. It's amazing.
Oh.
This guy, three-time All-Star, got MVP votes 5 times in his career, 36 dongs last year, OPS of near 900, was 993 in 2020. He's a monster. 855 lifetime OPS, 141 OPS plus last year.
I'm scared it might hurt him.
Yeah, I mean,
incredible.
do you want to? Why don't you tell him? I don't want to be the
cost that
bearer of bad news on a Thanksgiving holiday. Come on.
Danny,
So happy.
it's you got the wrong Ramirez, buddy. I'm sorry to be the one to have to tell you.
Yeah, it said the Guardians traded Ramirez to the Indians. So I looked up Ramirez on the Indians. It's not Jose Ramirez. There it is.
Yeah,
126 OPS lifetime plus. He's only 28.
It isn't
Chris Bryant to get Ramirez. This is incredible.
It's an actual H, not just the H sound. It's Harold, not Jose. Harold
Ramirez.
Yeah, Harold.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
mean
you know
this guy?
who Harold Ramirez is, right?
You mean this guy? Well,
There
this guy's
you
not
go.
good. Oh, come on. You guys are God damn it. Yeah. it was the
Yeah,
wrong
I hate to be the
Ramirez.
bearer of bad news there.
I know. Well, look at this. We got Harold Ramirez. So now the biggest part of the news is him, because he's 5'10", 232.
A big boy.
He's a big boy. But look at this.
5'10", 232. That was That might be me now, but that was definitely me many years ago when I had to lose a ton of weight.
You think you're 5'10"? Hilarious. That's what it says on my driver's license. So I mean,
guys.
I don't know that we needed Harold Ramirez. We certainly needed Jose a lot more. So this guy's got a little pop in the bat, I guess. You know, he maybe will hit you 20 if they let him out there all year, but that'd be a stretch. You know, OPS plus of 91. Miami let him go.
Why would they let him go?
Yeah, and you know, yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, you know, so I don't know what I'm looking at here. I don't know why we needed him at all, because if you look at the Cubs outfielder situation right now, this is the 40-man roster. These are guys that have actually already been to the big leagues. Greg Deichmann, we saw him last year. You got to figure he might figure into something, especially because he bats from the left side. Ian Happ, obviously, I had this weird thought. What if they don't tender him a contract?
Oh,
I mean,
my goodness.
$8 million, like, why, you know, I don't know. They probably will.
I mean,
Michael,
that's been their MO, right?
that's what
Like,
they did.
run
Yeah,
up the
sure.
price and then just let them go if they're not doing what they want.
And I was walking around, and I just like stopped dead in my tracks. I was like, holy shit, Ian Happ might not be on the team next year just because they don't want to spend the money. $8 million, they're saying. Michael Hermosillo, who we saw, I liked him, what I saw of him. Jason Hayward, I don't know what they're going to do with him at this point. He's just dead money. Rafael Ortega, we liked what we saw. Then you got Harold Ramirez, and then Nelson Velasquez got added to the 40-man roster. So I don't know. Maybe we could see him sooner or later, considering, you know, he's definitely coming to spring training, I would say. If he tears it up, maybe he makes a team. I don't know.
He's great in Arizona.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do it in spring.
We all know spring and Arizona numbers translate to Chicago.
Yeah, 100%. Going
Wink,
from that
wink,
90 degrees
wink.
right into April 1st,
So what do you
32.
What do you think? What do you think? Why did they do this? What's the point of this?
You're just looking, I mean, there's nothing really big about it. It's not a big move. It's just trying to pick up some depth. Nothing more than that. Not anything that's designed to shake everything up or anything like that.
It just felt like the one place we didn't need depth.
It's smart. They're spending their money smartly, Danny. This is what it looks like when you spend money smartly.
Thoughtful spending.
Thoughtful spending.
Thoughtful, intelligent spending.
You know what it is? Thoughtful spending. They thought it was Jose Ramirez. Just like Danny.
So, yeah, I mean, whatever. It's kind of sad that that's where we are with you know, the moves. But I mean, I would imagine, I would hope that, you know, we joked about what Doug Glanville tweeted out last week when he looked at the infield depth chart. It was, you know, and it was all the same person. Who was it?
It was the second baseman.
Yeah. God, you're killing me here.
I can see him right there. Yeah, I know.
I can see it. I can see his face. I could see him laughing at that dude that ripped his pants
Right.
last year, but I can't think of his damn name.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of that this season.
Well, there's a lot of that right now. You know, there's Sergio Alcantara.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that right now, even with these guys that were there signing, because nobody's a name. You know, like they didn't buy Jose Ramirez. You know, they bought Harold. So it's just like, you know, even the guys that they get, you know, when they get these signings, they're like, oh, we're going to see this guy maybe all next year. Maybe, you know, he's in the outfield all next year, because that's who they just go with. And I guarantee, like, we still won't know what we're looking at because it's not somebody that they really would have a future plan with. It just reminds me of, even though they said they're not tearing anything down, it reminds me of those times when, you know, you'd look out in the outfield, the Nate Shearholtz years. You know what I mean? We're like, well, I guess this guy's okay. When Nate Shearholt's the best guy in your team, like, is Harold Ramirez going to be the best guy in the team by the end of next year? Like, you know what I mean?
Nate Shearholtz is still my oldest son, one of his favorite players ever.
You know, and I've talked about it before. I think that by the end of next year, you will see the Cubs maybe break the top 5 of minor league farm systems. I think if you were just talking about 17 to 20-year-olds,
Like break it, like ruin it.
I'm saying break into it, but I could see the Cubs having the best young talent when you talk about single and double A. But there is not going to be any big signing this year. Anything that's going to be, like I said, what would the point of it be? I don't know. Like, even if you hypothetically signed Carlos Correa, what would you be hoping to get out of that?
Yeah, it's like we're going to talk about Steven Matz and missing on that signing in a little bit. It's just like, great, you get Steven Matz. You still need more pitching. Like, you still need to go get Robbie Ray. You know, like, you got to do something else.
We've
I
talked
like
about this
Little Yumper says, Cubs are shopping the knockoff brand aisle. Instead of Frosted Flakes, they are getting Sugar Flakes.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Harold Ramirez wears just no pinstripes, just all plain white. And it just on the black Ramirez on the back. It's like the generic brand Ramirez.
Spelled wrong. They get it from China.
But again, if what we're seeing right now is obviously, you know, nobody's tearing anything down, but it's not a rebuild like when the Cubs rebuilt starting the Theo years in 2011. That was literally everything from the ground up. Okay,
That was actually they rebuilt their facilities in the Dominican. They rebuilt the Wrigley Field. They rebuilt Taco Bell. I mean,
the Mesa, Arizona.
Mesa. They rebuilt Sloan. Like they did. Well, that wasn't a rebuild. That was just a build.
The whole farm system was shit. What they had here was shit. The facilities were shit. That was a complete rebuild. What you should see right now is a retool similar to you saw the Yankees do it. You saw
Remember
Boston
how exciting all that was, though? I do remember that. Like now that we just went through that like list of things that they did, I remember being super excited during that rebuild. I feel different now.
Well, like I said, what you did was you rebuilt everything, and they identified what they thought were the next pieces moving forward. The Baez's, the Bryans, the Schwarbers, the Russells. They took all those pieces. They said, this is what we got. And then in 2014, they kind of started to make a little noise. And then in 2015, they start filling in the pieces with the big name free agents. That's your John Lester's the big one on that one. Joe Madden that year. And then the next year, you filled it in more with Zobrist and Hayward. I believe Lackey was that same year. But what you want to do is see what you've got and then fill in. So when these guys that are really, really good down there, whether you're talking about Nelson Velasquez or whether you're talking about Brennan Davis, whether you're talking about Cole Franklin or Braylon Marquez or whoever you got, what do you have? And then once you know, that's when you start kind of spending the big dollars. I don't see the Cubs being competitive this year. I don't see them winning the Central. And I see them getting guys that might be guys that you could flip. And we've talked about this before, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I'm wondering. But is Harold Ramirez even that guy? I mean, you know, Jock Peterson is, I think, has a lot more pedigree than Harold Ramirez at this point. I mean, Jock has already played on championship teams. You know, it just has a lot more, had a lot more experience, was definitely like more of a platoon kind of specialist, you know, somebody that could really help somebody down the stretch. I don't know that Harold Ramirez is that dude.
Right. But what you got is you have to have bodies and you have to have some more depth, more depth.
Somebody's got to play, but it's just like, what? I mean, I just don't understand like a directionless situation. And then you get this news, and I just want to jump into the next topic real quick before our next commercial break. But Jordan Bastian said that Miguel Amaya is going to lose even more time because he's going to have Tommy John surgery per multiple sources. So that's going to be now. Not only did he miss last year of his development,
he's basically going to miss all of next year as well. If he's able to get in at all, it's going to be in the September timeframe.
And 2020 was a lost year, so that's 3 years in a row that Miguel Amaya is not going to be learning how to be a catcher, one of the most important positions on the year. Like, now that's really sad news, and I'm very sad for Miguel Amaya. I'm really sad for us because that was supposed to be the dude that was going to come through.
We may never see him at this point.
There is not as a catcher. I don't know what the hell they do with him, But there's a 50-50 chance he comes back and still can do it. I don't know. Like it's getting worse and worse, like this situation. I don't know. We can't count on him now.
Well,
I can guarantee you that.
There's never been, like, if the Cubs were sort of holding a spot and hoping for Miguel Amaya, that ship sailed for at least another 2 years. There's never been a better time to extend Wilson Contreras. Like they need to throw a fucking truckload of money at him right now because
they're gonna have to.
Their backup and he wasn't even next year's backup. He was like 2023 backup if everything went well. And now it's looking more like 23, 24, 25. Like it's ridiculous.
Crawley,
Back that fucking truck up to Wilson's house and just dump the money out.
I saw you smiling because were you thinking of that meme of like Wilson walking into negotiations like totally swagged out? I saw those going all around Twitter.
Like the guy walking into the courtroom when he's strutting in. This couldn't have been any better for Wilson and any worse for the Cubs. I mean, that's kind of where we are right now. Is that you're taking a look and you're saying, "Oh my God, how could this have?" And again, how the hell the medical staff, like, what the hell happened? Like, all of a sudden he can't play all last year because of, what was it, a forearm?
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden he needs Tommy John.
Yeah, they should know that, if it's the forearm's messed up. So obviously something's going on that would necessitate Tommy John surgery. Like, granted, you're trying to not have that surgery, but for how many months did he sit out? 7, 8?
The whole year, the whole season almost.
The whole year. So it's just this is just, does this happen on other teams? I would like to ask other podcasters.
You can only put ice on it for 7 months, and then you got to go with like a surgery.
Well, and let me tell you, it's like, it's not looking pretty. I was like, all right, let me think about this. So if they don't sign Wilson Contreras, who's going to catch next year? You're going to have him catch all this year. And then who's would catch the year after? Who would be a free agent? Here's who you got. Tucker Barnhart sucks. Got Wilson Contreras. He's awesome. But, I'll put up his numbers while we're talking about this, okay? So you can peruse them for yourself. Numbers haven't been as good since 2019 for Wilson. But Omar Narvaez, he was an all-star last year for the Brewers. He's decent. Gary Sanchez, maybe. Matt Stassi, he's older than Wilson. Christian Vasquez, he's old, not good. Mike Zunino, he's old, but he was amazing last year with an 860 OPS and 33 dongs. He's got a $7 million option for this coming year. But when you compare those guys to Wilson, what do you have to pay him now? You're going to have to make him rich.
Yeah. I mean, and I hear Cap throwing out like fucking 17 million a year or something like that. This is stupid. Give him like 22 a year. Give him 5 for 110. Just fucking do it.
He tweeted out blah, blah, blah last week. So everybody was thinking that might be about some kind of contract negotiation, and they've lowballed everybody.
But a player of Wilson's caliber at 110 million for 5 years, that's a deal. 5 years down the road, that's a great deal. And one thing I hope they do in this fucking CBA is get rid of the whole AAV bullshit so that they can actually structure contracts different so that they could pay him 50 million in the first year. And then by the last year, they're only paying him $1 million, and then they can get rid of him. People will actually take that contract. Whereas with
Hayward's, for example.
Yeah. Right. Hayward's right. It's always that AAV is always going to be high. There's nothing you can do about it. When it switches, when you go somewhere else, but they have no, it does actually, Hayward's contract does sort of start to go down toward the end of it, but not enough because there's no incentive to do that. And even when they could do that, they always did it the other way, which I never understood. They'd be like, "We'll give you $1.50 this year, but we'll give you $500 million in when you're 48."
When you're 48, then
we can't get rid of you.
They're counting on inflation.
Yeah.
Because I'll promise you $10 in 50 years, and you won't even be able to buy a pack of gum with it. You know what I mean?
I'll pay you a burger today if you give me 2 burgers tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. So so what I'm saying is like the catching situation, and you also got 29 other teams trying to find a catcher, and I may not all of them, but a fair amount of them. Everybody's always looking for a catcher. But you have Wilson here. And the thing that scares me is the same thing that happened with Wilson Contreras, or what happened with everybody else, that you had them here. You had Bryant here. You had Rizzo here. You had Javi here. And, even if it wasn't the best idea to lock all 3 of them up, but now you lost them forever. And now they are a free agent of some prowess that is out there on the free market, and they probably don't want to come back.
Why would you?
Yeah, especially to this current dumpster fire. But right now, you have Wilson. He is here. He doesn't necessarily want to pick up and move and figure out what it's like to be on another team. He wants you to say, Wilson, this is your team. You're a Cub for life. Maybe not for life, but like for the next.
Why not? Fucking Yachty
him out.
his ass, because honestly, you can move him. He's not a catcher for life. He's a Cub for life.
Yeah. And
you can move him to other positions.
The knock on Wilson, though, is that the framing never came through as far as
it got a lot better. He is an average catcher, right? He's right at, like, if I remember right, because I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but if I remember right, his defensive abilities, the framing, all that stuff, he is average. He's right at like the 99, 100, 101 average. But when you look at but then you add to that offense. So you have your basic average guy, but then you add the offense to it, and he becomes, one of the top 5 catchers.
And on top of it, he can slug, and he's a pretty good OBP guy.
And looking at those numbers, Danny, if you pop those back up there real quick. So you were talking a little bit about how it's gone down since 2019. So 2019, he
was his best year.
Right, but he played in 105 games. He played in 128 games this year. The year before, he played in 138 games, and his OPS plus was under 100 for the only time of his career. But if you see, he's got a sweet spot, right? That 117 right above that, that's a 118 OPS plus. So he's got a sweet spot right around that 120 games.
Rest him. You got it. You need a good backup, and it was
you have to have a guy backing up, and not 12 guys and brothers of guys and somebody's cousin, all of that shit. You need fucking guys back there. You know who you need is fuck, I forgot his name, but we just threw him into San Diego for no reason.
Victor Caratini. Yeah, an actual playable catcher who could be a starter on another team. Yeah, you need that guy, and
that's exactly what we needed.
Crawley, what do you give? You're giving Ricketts checkbook. You call down and you pull a Steve Cohen on Jed, and you say, give me Wilson Contreras. Here's what I'm willing to pay him. I don't care. Just get it done. What do you do?
Boy, it's, and this is where we talk about the CBA. I mean, especially if you have a designated hitter, you have a lot of different roles that you could play Wilson in. So you could go 80 to 100 million, especially
Crawley. Fuck off. Sorry. I can't let that pass.
As is going to happen though, you could now have Wilson. You can even have him in the lineup even when he's not catching. And like I said, that catching takes such a toll. So you could go 80 to 100 million, 85 to 100 million looking at 5 years wouldn't be at the end of the world. You'd have him to be, and I'm sure he could probably play some left field and stuff like that. But, or
first
even
base. They need a first baseman. I mean, Schwindel's only going to be at the top of his fucking game for like another 2 years.
Yeah. Schwindel's old enough to be Wilson's dad. That's how old Schwindel. Not quite. They're about the same. But, and also Wilson is not old. What is he, 29?
I think he's 29.
Damn.
But
29 or 28. But
being a catcher, it's that 30.
29, yeah.
See, but this is the game that they're playing. They're playing baseball on the abacus, right? So the number 30 shows up on the abacus, and they're like, you know what? Let's just fucking keep him for one more year. We'll trade him next year, and we won't extend him because everybody tells us after 30, catchers are no good. You know what I mean? Like, they're not actually looking at the player. They're not looking at the person that's playing it, what they could do with them. They're just, they've got the goddamn, algorithm telling them, don't take this player right now because he's too old.
They want the algorithm to figure out how much everybody gets paid.
Yeah.
Remember, that was their proposal. They're like, hey, let's let Fangraphs WAR decide. F-WAR, what you get paid.
Yeah, I say F-WAR too.
Yeah, I believe that's somewhere in Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand or something. I believe that's how that got in there. But hey, why don't we take just a really quick commercial break where I sell you T-shirts, and then we'll come back and talk about missing on mats.
Do you like having sex? Me too. That's why I always wear my Ranto swag shirts every time I'm looking to get some. It's the only t-shirt guaranteed to get you laid. Knock boots in your shankless shirt. Bump uglies in a Ranter long sleeve. Ride the skin-busted Tuna Town in a Dabbing Cubes fan shirt. Take gold one-eye to the optometrist in your bull penis awesome attire, or smash pissers in a Spagog shirt. Ranto swag shirts are just like people. There are many different sizes and colors to choose from. Plus, at Ranto's swag store, you'll find vintage John Baker Day, designated hater, and Matt Cameron drawn rally titty designs on everything from shirts and hoodies to baby onesies, bags, and hats. Go to sunranto.com/swag and check out all the sexy styles guaranteed to get you laid. You'll be stuffing the soft taco in no time. sunranto.com/swag, guaranteed to get you laid.
Wearing Ranto swag products not guaranteed to get you laid. Ranto swag is not responsible for your sex life. Ranto swag is for entertainment purposes only.
Well, unfortunately, Crawley, you seemed a little upset this morning. It's like I got a text from Bleacher Jeff today. He's just like, Crawley's flipping out about Steven Matz online, and I'm like, looked at him like, I don't have time for this right now. I'm working, but like, and then I thought about it for a moment. I looked up Steven Matz in the middle of my job, and I was like, middle to back of the rotation guy. Kind of profiles as the same shit we already have, except for that he throws with his left hand. Which
left hand.
You need. And then, and they said they wanted lefties. But, why did you want Matt so much?
It's just, here's the thing. It's just that realization that I was talking to Bleacher Jeff. We were going back and forth a little bit this morning, and it was kind of like you guys have played musical chairs, right? And everyone, moves around, the music stops, everyone sits on a chair, and then one person's kind of left standing, and then you're out. You know what I mean? We've been talking about how, like, the one thing we haven't heard at all is so-and-so going to the Cubs, so-and-so on the Cubs. The Cubs are in on so-and-so. We haven't seen that on anyone.
Matz.
But Matz is the one guy we saw it on. And, of course, we didn't get shit. And so it was just like, okay, I get it. He's not Cy Young. I'm not sitting here crying because he's not on the team and we're not going to the World Series anymore. It wasn't about that. It's just more about that. I just don't see that once it gets to a certain price, the Cubs are out. And so you have two things that are going to draw players to your team. Number one, who's writing me the biggest check? That's always going to really drive everything. Number two, do I have a chance of winning with this team? So if you're Clayton Kershaw, he won one. Justin Verlander, those Max Scherzer, they're all World Series champs, but they're at the end of their career. And they could give you a good year or two. But where are they going to want to go? Do they want to sit around for a rebuild, for a couple of year rebuild? We're going to be good in 3 years. Don't worry, Scherzer. I mean, they want to go to a team that's ready to win now. They want to go back to the postseason now. The other guys are guys like Robbie Ray or John Gray or some of those guys. They're going to be looking for the big contract. And I don't know if the Cubs are going to be willing to outbid some of the other teams that are hungry when you see names like the Angels. Okay, the Angels have, been trying to get over that hump, and don't blame them for not spending. They've made mistakes, of course, with the Pujols
they've
contract,
tried. Yeah.
But they've tried. But there's other teams that are really, like I said, the Angels, the Blue Jays. We talked about Matz. Matz was pissed that he felt that there was an agreement between the agent of Matz and the Mets and ownership. And, there ain't no agreement until the name's on the paper. All you got to do is watch Jerry Maguire to know that shit. If you don't have a name on the paper, it don't mean shit. So whatever Cohen's mad about, but watch Cohen get ready to come back and spend. And so I just am sitting here, and it's not just about Matt. I think that the Cubs, I mean, John Gray's a big one that everyone wants, but you don't think everyone else wants him too?
Right. It's not about Matt's. It's indicative of their process. The Cubs, I mean, the Cubs have money. We all know this. They have money. And this is what I was ranting about last week, Danny. If they know a player that they want, if they actually wanted Matz, they've got the money to fucking sign Matz. So don't be, don't fucking pussyfoot around it and get beat just because you want to save $12.
Well, it was what, 12 million. I mean, something like that, 12 million a year or something like that. I think it was the years that bothered them, which was 4 years, which, I mean, you look at Matz, like Matz was awesome back in 2015 when he came out as a rookie, 2015, 2016. Didn't he pitch in the NLCS against us and kicked our ass? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that clearly.
And he was decent last year with Toronto. I mean, but the problem is, like, this guy doesn't profile like first of all, he's a contact pitcher. He's not a real swing and miss guy. You got no defense anymore. So, I'm just saying, like, this guy's a pitch to contact guy. Aren't you looking for, they just said they want more to skew more high velocity. They want to do all this other stuff. So I think that if the price gets that high, it's okay to walk away from Matz. And it's because here's who you got left. And I know this is, this isn't like a who's who of, lefty superstars. Some of them are okay though. I'll just say the name real quick. Yusei Kikuchi, who we've also been linked to, Danny Duffy, Drew Smiley, James Paxton, Robbie Ray, Scott Kazmir, J.A. Happ, Martin Perez, John Lester, you can bring back why, Kwang Hyun Kim, who we know from the Cardinals, Alex Wood, Matt Moore, Carlos Rodon, Tyler Anderson, Brett Anderson. Hey, there you go, Crawley.
Yay.
Brett Anderson out there. He's only 33. Rich Hill, but I think in injured years, he's probably 104.
Right.
Rich Hill, who actually is 104.
That's how many, all the dead cadaver tendons that he's got in his body.
Yeah. Cole Hamels, Wade LeBlanc, Dietrich Enns, who I've never heard of, and Tom Malone, who I don't even know who that is. But
Tom Bones Malone, you don't know Tom Bones Malone?
Why not give Cole Hamels a little more money?
Yeah, why not? Here's another 20 mil, Cole. Come on back. There's Ricketts again. Has to go down there. He's like, oh, I fired the last guy for this. No, the only guys on this list, and everybody's looking at it with us, the only guys on this list, and I did look a bunch of them up, the Yusei Kikuchi guy interests me. Not a lot of mileage on the arm, and the strikeouts are there. Unfortunately, what the problem with him is this platoon. Look at this platoon. It's awful. Against right-handed batters in his major league career, which he's mostly faced, okay? They have a 282 batting average, an 849 OPS, and it's not good. A 111 OPS plus, but against lefties, he is lights out.
So he's a loogie, is what you're saying.
He's a loogie, but he's also a starter. So it's like, okay,
he's
what I mean?
a loogie in an era when loogies are no longer allowed anymore.
Yeah, but he's also a starter. Like, that's the problem. Like, so anyway, Kikuchi, I mean, the strikeouts are there. Absolutely. The hard contact disturbs you. But, somebody's got to pitch. He turned down $13 million from the Mariners. Those are all lefties, by the way. Those are all the lefties left because they said they wanted lefties. And then here's Kikuchi over his career. He's hasn't been good, as I said, and it's mostly the right-handed hitters that are touching him up. But, 163 strikeouts in 157 innings. It's only 62 walks. You're going to take that. The problem is they hit him. Gave up 27 home runs last year. So that's like Kyle Hendricksy. Not great. So let me put up the numbers. The guy's back up again. Drew Smiley Hey, we rehabbed him. Might as well get him back and use him up now.
Do you
Quang,
think he'll do you think he'll give us like 2 million off of
he
whatever the
should.
price is?
Yeah, give him the trainer discount. And the only other one that interested me was Kwang Hyun Kim, because he could come over here from the Cardinals. Remember, he was great with the Cardinals that first year, but then he got hurt. But he obviously knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So anyway, those guys interested me. Anybody on this list?
Nobody.
Nobody? How
There's,
about
like I said, John Gray is the only pitcher to me that I'd be interested in. I'm just looking at the list of available free agents. I'm looking at based on F4. So, or I mean, based on WAR. And so you got Scherzer at the top at 7.2, Gossman at 6.4, Rodon at 5.0. Rodon's an interesting one, but boy, that injury history scares me. And he wants multi-year. Kershaw. So when you talk about, like I said, Scherzer and Kershaw, these are guys 37, 34. You know what I mean? You got Robbie Ray, Zach Greinke's 38.
yeah, I only
was
put
3.5.
lefties on my list.
Right. You got Stroman, who everybody's talking about, Alex Cobb, Tyler Anderson, John Gray, Michael Pineda, Alex Wood. But again, there's going to be so many teams on all these guys because when you get to that lower tier of players, again, when you get to the Brent Andersons and the Matt Harveys and that kind of shit, you just kind of like, I don't know.
I'm curious as to what people in the chat want to say. Like if anybody on either the list that Crawley was going on, which was the mixed lefties, righties, or any of the lefty guys, compared us as Gray our number one. I mean, 1, 2 somewhere in there. I don't know. I mean, it's the fact is like for these mid tier guys. Now, what I'm wondering is like, and this is a long shot, but like, wouldn't it be nice to have a guy? I'm dreaming on Robbie Ray. Here's a left-handed dude. And I mean, I'm wondering, like, granted, he did win the Cy Young, but so like his stock is high right now. You might be buying high. 248 strikeouts in 193 innings.
That's the thing right there. 193 innings. That's the top of the league. Nobody, I mean, he
was
almost hit 200 in this era. That's amazing.
Yeah, and with Arizona, he was pretty serviceable for a long time. But we all know that your ERA goes up in Arizona just because of like how it works there in that ballpark. But he had an ERA around 4 in 2019, 2018, same thing. He was an all-star in 2017. I mean, now is this the kind of guy? He's 29 right now. Don't you think if you really liked his shit, you're going to figure that out and you're going to be like, I'm going to give you a John Lester-esque contract and I'm going to bring you on and you will be here for the next rebuild. You're a lefty with a lot of prowess. You're a strikeout dude. You're exactly who profiles how we just said. They said they want this exactly. They want a lefty who throws hard and does a lot of strikeouts.
What was Lester's 5 years or 6? It was 5, right?
So 150 plus an option, right?
155 over 5 years plus an option. Yeah, and I think they gave him like $2 million to leave, right?
Right.
Yes, if Robbie Ray would take that would be amazing because that's going to be the fucking best deal ever. I don't think he takes that at all, especially not now, right after the Cy Young. Or whatever he's got going on, like he's just not going to do that. He's a $200 million guy. But if you think about it, like the inflation over those years, I would give it to him. I would roll that dice, but I don't see the.
Maybe he loves deep dish.
That.
I don't know.
He named his dog Wrigley. There we go. We're starting that again.
He named his dog Deep Dish.
I'm just saying, like, wouldn't it be? I mean, why can't we dream? I mean, they can afford him.
They can afford everybody they want.
And you build on you sign up Wilson. You got the money right now. You got Hayward coming off the books. He's your highest paid player right now. There's absolutely no reason you don't start. If the guy is there that you're talking about that you want, he's exactly what they said they wanted. Now maybe they have him for 1 year that they don't need him. That's this year. But then you have him for the other 4 years when you start to build it, and you start to getting some of these guys coming. I'm just saying Crawley, I know what you're saying too, is like until they actually see dudes playing well that are coming up, they're not going to do shit.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking.
He's the guy at that stage could be that veteran anchor along with Wilson that would help them get those young guys where they need to be. Like that's his value. And I don't know anything about him outside of the pitching. So I don't know if he's like a good clubhouse guy or not, if he is a leader, but if he was a Lester, like truly a Lester type, he could be the kind of guy to help lead your team in those last couple years when these young guys come up and maybe you make, some big noise.
Yeah. I mean, it could be. I mean, that's, we have to have something to hope on. It's Thanksgiving, goddammit. Corey writes in, we will get Kyle Zimmer, just released by the Royals, scratch and dent bin gamble. I think we'll see.
Does he have an arm problem? I mean, are we still in that's what I want to know. Are we still in arm problem pitcher mode? Because that was Theo's whole last 3 years. I don't know yet if Jed is still doing that. Are we still doing that?
Yeah. The Tommy John thing, only for catchers now.
Well, just anything is wrong.
And anybody injured. Yeah. We're getting you. So just a couple. Now, one guy, I just wanted to bring this up real quick. One guy that if you're not going to go for it, and if he would take less, and he probably falls under the category of dudes that want to be with a team that's going for it just to have one last hurrah. But if he's willing to still pitch, Rich Hill and his long, illustrious career is available. He is 41 years old, and I'm like, why not? It gives an old guy like me hope. He's closer in age to me.
Doesn't he also throw 88?
Yeah, but he's got that killer curveball to go with it. I mean, that is one. I mean, when he's healthy, which is rare. I mean, that guy can throw, but Jesus, I can't believe he's still in the league. I can't believe he's lasted this long. I can't believe he's made as much money as he has. It's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I remember sitting there in 2007 watching him suck against the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
First pitch was it? God, who was it? Who gave up first pitch of the game? Boom. We weren't even sitting down. We were still cheering. Gives up a home run to dead center. It's like,
it's gonna be one of those. Is it?
Yep.
And Rich Hill's the one that always has a blister on his finger, right?
Yeah.
Like Rich Hill's blister is
yeah, Rich's blister. Thing. Yeah, that was the original lyrics of Sister Christian, actually, by Night Ranger. Rich's blister, now my time has come.
God.
Anyway, around the MLB, there's a little bit of news, and they've moved up the MLB tender deadline. So you got to be tendered a contract by the 30th, which is less than a week away. And this kind of so there could be a lot of action between 11:30 and 12:02 for the non-tender guys. And it's going to be like this mini free agency period before the lockout. So it's just kind of wild. I wish it always happened like that. 24 hours in Vegas, all the players get signed. Let's go.
They do that in the NBA. They have one month. And then if you don't sign your guy in that month, you have to wait until spring training or training camps or something like that before you can start to sign guys again. And that would be fucking amazing.
I'd love it.
So obviously now the fucking World Series goes to goddamn November every year. So you do it until, I don't know, December 10th, December 7th, a day that will live in infamy. You end it every year, and December 7th, and you find out who's on what team.
It's already set up that way. They got the winter meetings. They got the GM meetings. They could be doing all this shit right then. Yeah. So I don't see what the holdup is. But the only people that this really affects is Wilson Contreras, who obviously they're going to tender a contract to, and Ian Happ, who, if you're saying that they're freaking out over $8 million, and if they don't want Happ to be part of this team, really, then they might Schwarber him. And that would be a surprise, I think.
I mean, they have Harold Ramis. Ramirez. Harold Ramis is a dead movie director.
Did you see Ghostbusters or what?
Right,
I was thinking about that earlier.
So anyway, I don't know. That would be a shock. if they didn't tender Hap. But then you get like these situations where the Cubs, they're not doing shit, but then you got a team like the Rays who you're always joking like, oh, they're all their guys are guys you've never heard of who they developed and blah, blah, blah. But then they went ahead and they gave up to $223 million to Wander Franco, who obviously they expect big things out of. That could look like a great deal.
But it's like,
a bad deal,
if
but
he
it's only
wants to,
$20 million a year.
right. But if he wants the 223, it's 12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great deal for the Rays if they really like him. If he's a good player, they're gonna have him forever.
Yeah.
And it's honestly because it's spread out for so long, he's never gonna be out completely of trading him, But
Yeah.
it's one of those things. I
Unless
saw
he's
so many
terrible.
I saw so many people. Yeah, unless he's terrible. But I saw so many people out there like, why can't the Ricketts do this? The Ricketts offered this. The Ricketts offered that exact amount, like basically to Chris Bryant. He didn't take it because that's not Chris Bryant money. That's probably not even Wander Franco money. They got fucking lucky that he decided that St. Petersburg, Florida, of all fucking places, is a great place to live and work.
Well, it's the same thing that happened to Anthony Rizzo is that if Wander Franco sucks, well, he ripped off the Rays. And if he's decent, well, it wasn't the worst contract. And if he's great, it's a steal. It's one of those type of deals. You know what I mean? You're a kid and you're going to be offered $200 million. You're fucking dumb if you don't take it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there is risk on the Rays side. And if you're the Rays and this guy's the real deal that you truly believe he is, well, then you lock him up for his career and you have a face of your franchise. So, it's a win-win for, I think, pretty much everybody.
Now, what you need now are fans, which maybe they were planning on getting with Wander Franco. So, and then the last little bit of news I saw around the MLB is that Quintana signed with the Pirates, and he was pitching down in the Dominican, and he looked pretty good down there. That's pretty high level of competition. And then he signed with the Pirates. And I was like, that one might have been a freaking decent option for a left-handed pitcher with like some high velocity. I'm just saying. I know we've all moved on. I'm just saying. He's with the Pirates.
Danny, I'm with you.
Clean our clocks. He's going to clean our clocks.
That's the problem. Like you signed him for whatever. I doubt that the Pirates gave him a ton of money. So you signed him for that amount of money to pitch for the Cubs again, because at least he's not on the Pirates. And yes, every time he sees the Cubs, he's going to fucking no-hit us.
At least he beats the shit out of the Brewers.
We talked about not living in the past, but that is exactly what I did this last weekend. I absolutely immersed myself in the past. I bathed in the past. I soaked it in. I went to the Chicago Sports Spectacular, back large and in charge at the Rosemont Center. It was absolutely a ton of people there. No COVID anymore.
That looks like a big COVID cavern right there.
Speaking of Wilson, he looked a little hungover. I'm not going to lie. This was 10 in the morning. And Wilson is in sunglasses.
Wilson is the guy on the left, by the way.
Yeah.
That's how bad he was feeling.
Like Starsky and Hutch.
Wilson's in sunglasses there. And here's the thing, is I've seen players do that before, but they do this thing where you get
a little bit.
They do this thing where you get to go, and I know there's going to be some jokes here. You get to go in the booth and get a photo, with the player. He actually took his photos with the sunglasses on.
Oh yeah, because that flash that could hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was funny. I saw good old.
Maybe he had cataract surgery.
I did get this picture of me and Wilson signed over from Club 400, so that's kind of a cool one there. Enjoyed doing that. And then I'm walking around, and who's in a booth but Ryan Dempster? He's Crawley. Ryan, what's going on, buddy?
Yelling at you like, nobody's here, Crawley. Nobody's coming to my thing. Come over here.
I mean, he was wearing like a sweatshirt and a camo hat. Like, I'm like, what the hell? Like he's by a snack bar. So I was talking to Demper a little bit, having a good time in between him.
Nobody's talking to him. He came in camouflage and then fucking wondered why nobody noticed him.
But, after that, I saw Ryan Sandberg, which was cool. I got this 16x20 here of the Sandberg game. I was able to finally find a photo that was pretty decent. And so that's the Sandberg game with all the stats on there with Don Zimmer giving him the high five coming around home plate, third base. And we talked about artists. This is from Lauren Taylor. She's a phenomenal artist. She's MLB licensed, but this is a Ryan Sandberg. If you could see this thing's a beauty right there.
It's like a Sandberg within a Sandberg. Or like Sandberg's wearing himself on a shirt for the podcast listeners. I'll try to describe what you're saying.
The person that a lot of people were excited about that kind of came last minute was Benzo. Ben Zobrist back in town. We're wondering if, he had to, he has to kind of pony up some money to the psychopath.
Benzo looks a little thin there, doesn't he?
He did. I thought the same thing. He looks skinny.
Yeah, well, some people deal with their divorces in weird ways. He's probably under a lot of stress right now. That divorce is not done. And, some people drink themselves fat or eat themselves fat, and some people starve themselves thin in that regard.
Some people drink themselves thin, and I've been trying to figure out how to do that for fucking ever.
Well, keep trying.
I got a picture of Zoe at Club 400 with myself, and then I'm working on this piece. I got 6 guys out of the 25 of the trophy piece, so Ben went up top there.
Cool. You got Benzo, KB. Who's that?
No, I don't. I have 2 catchers. I have Contreras and I have Miggy. I have Benzo and David Ross, Chapman and Schwarber on this thing.
Okay.
So the next day, good old Kerry Wood. So I got Kerry Wood's 20K game. That's a picture from the game signed.
Everybody was there.
Yeah, it cost a shit ton of money. The only thing that sucks. And then this was a blast from the past. Do you know who that is, Danny?
Mitch Williams, baby.
Yeah, he was excited to talk to us. We were talking about the song, about the Lenny Dykstra song. He didn't have a real big line, so I was able to kind of shoot the shit with him, get some stuff signed. But obviously the big person that also came, who his line was massive, was
Corey writes in to Crawley, "Don't trust pastors, Ben Zobrist." That'd be a wonderful inscription.
This was clearly the biggest get right here was Joe Madden. I never remember him doing a public signing since they won the World Series. He was there. It was a huge deal. A real cool thing is that I'm waiting in line, and here comes Kerry Wood, and him and Joe Madden are talking in this picture here, and they were just having a good old time laughing. But here's a picture of me and Joe. I can't tell you, he was the nicest guy to everybody. And, again, you pay for every fucking autograph, every inscription. But you know what? Some of the guys barely even look up. Yeah, okay, here you go. Move on, kid, whatever. Joe Madden, I appreciate you coming out. Thank you. Oh, you say something, he would just respond. He would have a kind word for everybody. I was there taking some pictures for other friends that were getting stuff signed. And he was as nice a guy as you could. I just wish I could have taped him and Benzo, taped it and showed other players and be like, this is how you fucking appreciate the people that are coming and making your ass some money. Really good guy.
Walk straight over to Wilson's table. Wilson, notice, look, no sunglasses.
Right.
They're stone cold sober.
This is a picture right here, though, that our friend Austin Plock did of Wilson and Joe, and I got them signing both. That's Wilson and Joe hugging. That was from Joe's last game in St. Louis, and so I got them to both sign that.
Beautiful.
And then I figured I'd get 2 legends here. I got Lee Arthur Smith, my guy. I love him. And Fergie Jenkins, who we're talking about next, because this man right here, who was also at the spectacular, that's Lucella.
Dude,
Lucella.
He's rocking the jean jacket, popped collar.
Hell yeah.
Living the life.
Well, you know where he graduated from?
No.
John Hersey
No,
High
but it
School.
was 1984, I'm sure.
Graduated from John Hersey High School, and he is the one that is doing the Fergie Jenkins statue.
Which I got it right here. Here's the Fergie Jenkins statue. And it's pretty cool to see it in its kind of infancy here. I'm sure it's going to be up on a big pedestal, but it's actually kind of how you remember and think of Fergie, up on the mound. And I guess that would kind of be more 70s Fergie, wouldn't you say, before he came? That's not 1984 Fergie when he came back at the end of his career.
No.
But that's, that's more 70s Fergie or maybe even late 60s Fergie. But it just looks great, and I can't wait till they have it at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, for the podcast listeners, it is an uncompleted statue of Fergie Jenkins in pitching motion. So hands back, balls in it, getting ready to fire it forward. It's really cool. I zoomed in because we shared that on text, and I zoomed in, and they haven't added his mustache yet. I was like looking at his face. I'm like, what's wrong with this? I'm like, oh, he doesn't have his mustache yet. That must be one of the last things. So that's like, for me, I thought that was cool. I was like, I now
Yeah.
know that if I ever make a statue, mustache goes on last.
So Fergie was in for the spectacular on Sunday. So this is a picture from the Lou. That's Lou right there again in the blue shirt, and that's Fergie kind of demonstrating some things here. But that's Lou's studio. So he's a Hershey grad. He did the Harry Carey statue. He's done all the statues at Wrigley. So he's a great guy. And so it'll be interesting. Now, my understanding is it's not going to be opening day. People thought opening day. My understanding is that the statue dedication is going to be occurring in May.
Now, is it going to be all bronze, or is it going to have like the color added to it? Like, I kind of dig how
it'll look like all the others. It's got it.
Right. And I have heard that they are having difficulty. They're trying to figure the configuration of these statues out because of the sport book. So the
Cornerstone 23 says Fergie's statue going right next to a slot machine.
Yeah. So the thing is,
you could actually pull Fergie's arm down and win money.
You know, it's one of those things where you're looking and it's the perfect spot is that corner where the other two guys are. But I heard they're trying some different mock-ups and have been trying things to kind of get a general feel of how it would work, but they still don't have anything planned as to if the statues are getting moved and if they're getting moved, where they would be moved to.
Imagine if they had something like, I don't know, a museum of some sort.
Yeah. Oh man, they could put the statue in there. What a great idea, Michael.
Well, that statue.
What if they had an entire little park area?
Yeah. Well, that's where they want to put it, is in the park area, but it's not like there's like a ton of room. Like a lot of people use it. They do concerts. They have kids playing catch all the time there. They do all sorts of different things.
Just like Michael Jordan said, fuck them kids.
They'll figure it out. There's plenty of room for the freaking statues. In fact, I know the sports book is going to go in there, but that Ron Santo and the Billy Williams that's over there, they're kind of like in no man's land. They're just like out in the middle. They look kind of lonely and desolate. And I know
you could do more statues, Danny.
What?
You could have more statues. There's more than the 69 team.
Well, I know that too. I mean, well, I'm saying they should have.
Is all they have is 69.
Where's the Sandberg statue smoking a doob? Where's the we could have Hack Wilson, I guess, guys like that. There's
okay. So you got the Ernie statue, you got the Santos statue, Fergie.
Let's talk about it.
Billy Williams. No, I'm wondering, like, where do you put them on the field? Like, now you just build the field, right? Santos at third. And I don't know. I would say Ernie at shortstop so that you open up.
Yeah,
the
but
first
then you're
base.
stuck with those guys being. What if you get a better one? Like you're totally tying your hands for the future.
What if you get a better one? Well, then you dump them. You take Ron Santo and you I don't know.
Throw him in Lake Michigan.
Cut his leg off and put it in the dumpster.
Oh boy.
So
put him up in the booth.
It's the end of the show. You put it, yeah. So, all right. Well, let's move on. Actually, I'd be interested to talk about some of this on the Green Room app right after this show. We're going to go on the Green Room app, follow Son Ranto Show, and we will have a conversation with you. You can join in on it. Just follow Son Ranto Show. You'll see when we go live, and then we'll be there. So, anyway, we asked people, being Thanksgiving, for their what they were thankful about. And so I felt like we should include at least a few of these in the show. We'll get through them real quick. Mike Presnowski today, he says he's 100% satisfied with the Marquee Network, and the idea of booing them hasn't crossed his mind once.
Oh, so thankful.
And then, but he also had another one that was an actual thankful thing. He said the comeback versus the Cardinals on opening day 2.0, an important day for Chicago in general, as it was the first event held in town without a capacity restriction since COVID. I think it still had a capacity restriction, but it wasn't as bad. It was like 50% instead of 20%, or wasn't? Am I wrong?
I think it was full capacity.
Full capacity? Full capacity? That's how my Italian great grandmother would say it. It was a full capacity, huh? So then, full disclosure, I did say, what are you thankful for, Cubs fans? Wrong answers only. And Ron Trauma's thankful for intelligent spending and biblical losses.
I love Ron Trauma. That's a great name.
Funky Cold Luda, otherwise known as our good friend Luis from Bleacher Nation, is thankful for the Ricketses. You got a lot of Ricketts comments. Craig Anderson is thankful for 69 players on the 30-21 mob roster. So apparently Craig's already drinking because I think he meant 2021 MLB roster, but yeah, 69 players. That was something to be thankful for this year. How about Egg Bowl of the Week saying the MVP campaign of Eric Sogard?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
How about Luke Baumgartner saying that he's thankful that all his favorite players survived the trade deadline, thus propelling my mental health into euphoria. These go back to back. LJ Warren's thankful for Daniel Descalso, and Amos Pearson's thankful for the return of Jake Arrieta. Boy, did that go good.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Old Gunmar Soldier is thankful for Zaidman. Oh, look at that. He just blocked me. He just blocked me. And then Maggie May has a real one. She says, trying. 2016? Okay, I'm really thankful I have a place to come to with people who enjoy baseball and the Cubs as much as I do. Thanks to you three for this podcast.
Thank you.
That's very nice. So a couple of announcements. A Cubs gift guide is going out Friday morning. Cubs Insider, check it out. I looked up all these wonderful gifts that you can buy people that are cheap. And there's ones that are just like from the MLB discount clearance shop. But also I've highlighted many of your other Cub fan, independent artists, Cub fan friends, people that we know, like Matt Kammerer, John Teagues, who drew Crawley and me as Star Wars characters. He's offering a service to draw you and your pet.
Danny still doesn't know who you guys are.
I think I'm Baby Yoda. I'm pretty sure I'm Baby Yoda, or one of them, one of the Baby Yodas. So also we have Cubs caroling. Please set your calendar. No, you don't. Yeah, you can.
I have good news and bad news about the Cubs caroling.
The good news is you're not coming.
That's actually both bits of news.
The good news is you're coming. The bad news is you're singing.
No. The good news is I'm not coming. No, the bad news is I'm not coming. The good news is I'm not singing. Yeah, unfortunately, my kid, they fucking scheduled his concert the exact same night. Just told us about it. I'm like, I have shit to do, but apparently they didn't care.
Well, I am just dropping a link in the chat to the Facebook invite. So check it out. It's hosted by Son Ranto on Facebook. And once again, join us after the show on Patreon. You guys got any cubes, some flexing cubes to Cube fans to?
Yeah, I have one pretty quick one.
Yeah.
Of course, I got to find it. Okay. So this was Ian Happ coming on, talking about Wade Davis, who retired. Wade Davis was an incredible teammate. What he did with the Cubbies in 2017 was insane. Hell of a career and a fantastic individual. Very nice, very nice. And then this dude comes in and says, an actual Chicago Cub calling them Cubbies. Jesus. And the next guy is like, that's what you take away from this post? I remember when I saw only the negative in everything, and I'm glad I've moved on from that mindset. Happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas, Ebenezer. So, little Cub, I don't know.
Wow.
Fucking people getting upset about Cubbies and then calling each other
Remember
Ebenezer.
when Wade Davis shot a bear in the offseason right before it? That was like the talk of Cubs convention that year. That he
yeah.
shot a bear.
So mine comes here. It says Buster Olney says the perception in the market is that the Rockies are not selling. Rather, they intend to keep some of their tradable assets in effort to win in 2022. In which Joe Sheehan replies, "Tell me weed is legal in Colorado without telling me weed is legal in Colorado."
Oh my God, that would explain so much going on in that front office.
And God, I had one, but I can't find it right now. Oh no. It was shit. Oh no, here it is. I just didn't upload it. I'm doing it real quick. It's our good friend from the Mets, Cohen. This morning tweets out he wasn't happy about what happened with Steven Matz. He says, "I'm not happy." He'd let us know he wasn't happy by saying, "I'm not happy this morning. I've never seen such unprofessional behavior exhibited by a player's agent. I guess words and promises don't matter." And Booker DeWitt tweets back at him, "Get some Starbucks and smoke a joint." felt like pretty decent advice too.
What a fucking idiot. This Steve Cohen, I'm not happy. That's what free agency is. This guy has no idea what he bought into. He has no fucking clue.
So before I play the final song, I'm going to play a little advertisement from the Sun Ranto. It's a Sun Ranto shopping commercial. We know that Black Friday's coming. Everybody's going to be buying shit. And we have these links that you can follow at sunranto.com/shopping. And if you click on them like MLB Shop and Fanatics and sports memorabilia, all sorts of different places you can shop, Reebok, well, then we get a little kickback from it. Amazon, that's a huge one. Everybody buys shit at Amazon. So from now until Cyber Monday, when you're buying crap, please think of us. It really helps out the show. Appreciate it very much. Crawley's bobbleheads are not free.
No.
You know what I mean?
I need to build more shelves, people.
And then right after the commercial plays, I'm going to be playing. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. What a beaut.
Wow.
And right after the commercial
I can't wait until Crawley gets drunk and falls right into those shelves.
No! Right after the commercial plays, I'm going to be playing the world premiere of my entry, one of my entries, into the Waddle and Sylvie holiday parody contest, which we are also having. Haven't seen any parodies coming from you people. So
I've got two. I just haven't recorded them yet.
Yeah, I figure it's not quite Christmas season. Once Thanksgiving passes, I'm really going to get on people's ass. But for right now, here's a Sun Ranto shopping commercial, and then the premiere of my video of the Ronnie Woo Woo chorus. So spagog, everybody.
Spagog!
Spagog!
If you're like most Americans, you buy shit. Lots of shit. Sometimes you buy shit for other people. Sometimes you buy shit for yourself. And sometimes you buy shit you have to buy just to stay alive. So why not buy shit through the Sun Ranto affiliate? Links at sunranto.com/shopping. We've got tons of shit you can buy. Go to sunranto.com, click on the shopping link, then click our ads and buy shit. We've got Amazon. They've got tons of shit. But you can also buy MLB shit, NBA shit, NFL shit, Fans Ed shit, Southwest Airlines shit, Fanatic shit, Reebok shit, Wine of the Month shit, Beer of the Month shit, Bear Mattress shit, StubHub shit, Lid shit, Sports Memorabilia shit, Volcanica coffee shit, Vibrator shit, Condom shit, Bag shit, NHL shit, and Audible membership shit. There's a whole lot of shit that can help the Sun Ranto show stay on the air so we can keep talking shit. So buy shit today through sunranto.com/shopping. Thanks. Cubs Jesus thinks you're the shit.
Ronnie Woo Woo, Ronnie Woo Woo, Ronnie Woo Woo, Ronnie Woo Woo.